evening. Welcome to Boardman's Auditorium, better known as the Performing Arts Center. Tonight, I hope you are as proud of this auditorium as I am. Tonight, each of us are a part of a new chapter of history in the Boardman schools. You are the first audience to sit in those seats. And our young people and our alumni who's going to perform later will be our performers. I must confess, I toyed with the idea of breaking out into a song and doing a little soft shoe. But those of you that know me and some of my close friends, it's kind of like my golf game. I lack talent in that area. I will then have the honor of addressing the first audience in this auditorium. This facility, as we've said many times, is a result of a joint effort, what we call a partnership between the community and the school system. And I hope in future years, as you go drive up Glenwood Avenue and you look at this facility, it will serve as a reminder of what we can do in this community when the Boardman schools and the people of this community join hands to resolve a common issue. As superintendent of Boardman schools, I would like to applaud every single person who played a role in this facility. Obviously, I do not have time to do that tonight. I'm going to do it a different way. I'm going to do it by groups. And the teacher in me says, pay attention, please. When I call out your group, and if you are a member of that group, I would like you to stand. And I'd like you to remain standing till I have the opportunity to thank you and to applaud the entire group. The first group, quite obviously, is our Board of Education, Central Office Treasurer, and Director of Business Affairs. If you will stand, please. Let's see if you can follow my instructions. No, you're not allowed to applaud. That's me. You didn't listen. I will applaud at the very end. The Auditorium 2000 leadership and committee members. Board, you're listening, okay. The Tony Larisha family. Boardman trustees and Township Clerk Bill Light. The Boardman Athletic Boosters Organization, which incidentally, they were the second group to make a commitment to this project. The Boardman Band and Orchestra Parents Organization, if you are a member of that organization. The Clarence Smith family, the Greg Smith family, the Bernie Kozar family, Home Savings and Loan, Boardman school staff, which I proudly state was the first group to make a pledge to this auditorium. If you are a member of the Boardman school staff. The Boardman PTA made the third pledge to this project if you are a member of one of the Boardman PTAs. The Bruce Beard family, the Watson Foundation, Spartan Chevrolet, the Rodney Chisholm family, the Arthur Struble family, the Herb Omni family, the Aja Kumar family, Ethel May Burt, Rotary Club, Dan Turner family, John Denise York, the Youngstown Foundation. Now listen very carefully. If you made an individual contribution by purchasing a brick, a seat, you made a cash donation or a service donation, please stand. All right. If you are an employee of Hanahan Stroller Associates, Chuck Schaefer, if you are Chuck Schaefer. Bill Kreider Construction, Jim Geller Electric. Listen to this one. If you pay taxes to the Boardman schools, it's your capital improvement levy that's going to pay for the $3 million. So if you pay taxes to the Boardman schools, please stand. If you are a current member of a performing group at Boardman High School, or in the past, because it was you that established the need for this auditorium, please stand. Now, I think I have all the groups represented. So on behalf of all the students and all the families that are going to use this auditorium, I thank you and I applaud you. You may be seated. We have a couple special presentations to make. I would like Mr. Fred Davis, Board President, and Mr. Mark Folks, the Vice President, to join me on the stage. 2.5 years ago, the Auditorium 2000 Committee was created. And I still remember the meeting in which I more or less pleaded for somebody to chair this committee. Bill Connect pushed John Darnell forward, and John said, I'll do it. John Darnell has faced many challenges in this 2.5-year period. His knowledge of the community and his direct form of communications, which is say it like it is, enabled the committee to overcome many obstacles. And not only did he lead a committee that raised $1.5 million, he actually raised very close to 1.6. At this time, we'd like John Darnell to come forward to receive a special service award from the Board of Education. John's service award is minus the picture of the auditorium because we did not want to take a picture of the auditorium without the pennants that Edie Davidson designed. So at a later date, John, we'll ask for that back and we'll get an appropriate picture in there. When John agreed, after being pushed forward by Bill Connect, he said, I will do this only if Tom Costello would be my co-chairman. Tom Costello was the man behind the scenes. He was quiet, and when Nancy and I had a problem, we would call Tom, and Tom would say, I will take care of it. At this time, we would like to present the service award to Tom Costello. Tonight's concert is a tribute to all of you who made this auditorium possible. This is the first time we're actually going to use this facility, so I don't know what's going to happen. The lights may go out, the sound system may not work. Please bear with us. But we did learn one thing. The main entrance to the auditorium is from the north, door 2, and from the west, the front entrance to the high school. The entrance that many of you came in is the music entrance, and that's for the performers to come in. If you're a handicapped person and you have a wheelchair, there's an entrance over here on the left. So if you're coming for tomorrow night's concert, if you come up Glenwood in the main drive, we're asking you to park to the right of the high school and come in the main entrance where the Auditorium 2000 sign is. If you come back up through Nysonger, then you will park on the north side and come through exit 2. Tonight, after this concert, there is a reception in the cafeteria, and we're inviting all of you to have a piece of the dedication cake. We regret that we only built a 1,600-seat auditorium because there are a lot of people who wanted to be here and could not be here, especially the parents of some of our performers. We are video live to the gymnasium. This performance is being viewed there by the people who could not get in. We will tape this this program, and later on it'll be on Channel 19. And if anybody would like to see the copy or have a copy, we'll make some kind of arrangements for you to get a copy of it. I guess that's all I have to say to you at this particular point. It is my honor at this point to say, on with the show.
Thank you. Good evening and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This time it is with great pleasure that I introduce to you recently retired band director and Auditorium 2000 committee member Thomas A. Groth to conduct, and senior Miss Cynthia Demetriou to sing our national anthem. Will you please stand?
say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight over ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glow, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner
cold and starving, but she had to keep moving. If they found her, it would mean certain doom, marriage. Her father was forcing her to marry a man she hated so much she'd rather die than wed. But she had no choice. Her father was king and his word was law. So she ran in the night and made her escape. If she could only make it to the next village, she'd be safe. No one knew her there. She'd find shelter and food maybe. She'd have to find work. But where? And for who?
Trite.
What?
Trite. That is so overdone. And it's whom.
Whom?
Whom.
No, I think it's who.
It's whom.
Well, it sounds stupid.
Are you two ready to order?
Napkins.
Excuse me?
We're running low on napkins.
Of course.
Darkness enveloped him with an icy grip that threatened to drag his weakened and wounded body into the depths of oblivion. But his will was stronger than that of the unseen force, which seemed to drain every drop of energy from his cells. Seemed to drain the few remaining atoms of energy from his under-respirating cells.
It was beginning to rain, and the road was quickly transforming from dry dust to sticky mud. There was no shelter in sight, so she kept moving. No time for rest. Her soaking dress clung to her heaving breasts, and as she ran, the muddy road snatched the delicate slipper from her feet. No time to retrieve them, she told herself, but alas, they would give away the direction of her flight to her persuaders. Ha, now that's original.
Yeah, but you mean pursuers.
No.
But isn't she running away?
Yes.
So she's running away from her pursuers. Pursuers are the people who pursue the pursued. It doesn't make any sense the other way.
Yes, it does. See, she's running away because she's being persuaded to marry that guy.
Right.
And the people are chasing her, the persuaders, and the persuaders want to persuade the unpersuadable. And she's the unpersuadable because she won't be persuaded to marry, even though the persuaders won't stop persuading her until she's been persuaded. Or till she dies. Because then the persuaders will have to stop persuading her since she's dead and she can't hear the persuasion. That's why she's running away. Can I have your napkin?
Use your own.
I did.
Well, then use the other side.
I did. Waiter!
Here you go. May I take your order?
He turned the corner with a quivering hand, desperately trying to balance his weapon. Wait. Each step he took embedded the fear deeper and deeper. And much deeper into his throbbing, pulsating heart.
I can see you two need a few more minutes.
She knew the men were close. She could hear the thunder of their horses in the distance. How close were they? She strained her ears, but could not tell the distance that separated her from imminent doom.
He had to will his body away to take each agonizing step towards the horrifying sounds lurking in the darkness ahead. The air was smelly. What's a better word than smelly?
Stinky.
No. More. Come on.
Pungent?
Putrid?
Odoriferous.
Odiferous. Yes! Odiferous.
She looked over her shoulder. but found the road behind her to be empty. But she wasn't watching where she was going, and she tripped over a crunch and fell face down and...
What's a crunch?
What?
You said she tripped over a crunch.
Huh, a crunch.
Are we ready to order?
Can you tell me what that says?
Her lunch?
A branch! She tripped over a branch. Typo.
Man can't even read his own handwriting.
Are you ever going to order? Of course you're not. Why would you come to a restaurant to order food?
He turned the corner, blah, blah, blah. Then stopped suddenly. Something was
She tried to get out, but
slippery on the floor. Slime! Gobs of green goo!
her dress was torn. But
It was everywhere. He couldn't walk, and
there was mud, and
his boots slipped as he turned the corner, and... But he regained his balance at the last minute. He knew the creature was watching him from some secret lair, hidden within the shadows of the walls. But he couldn't see anything in the thick darkness.
Waiter!
Would you be quiet? I can't think with you yelling all the time.
I'm not yelling. Waiter!
You used all the napkins.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't.
Then where did they all go?
Waiter! I need more.
Napkins? I'm not even gonna ask this time.
He stood motionless, afraid to breathe. The creature was only inches away. Its putrid stench soured the air, and its clammy skin sent shivers
I can't work in these conditions.
down his spine. The creature's teeth quivered by his ear, dripping saliva down his neck. What conditions? You were fine a second ago.
These conditions. Walls and chairs and tables. I need freedom. Open spaces.
Dripping saliva down his neck. Would you please stop that?
The girl began to run again. Her hands guarded her face from... Quick, give me your pen.
Where's yours?
I threw it.
But I need mine.
I'll give it back. She began to run again. Her hands. Yes, her hands.
Hey!
Now I've lost it.
That was my only pen.
She was cold. She was starving. She was running. Oh, she lost her shoe, but she's still running. But where? Where?
What?
No, where? She finds a cave.
What are you doing?
I'm thinking.
Yes! Thank you!
A stranger does approach.
Ah!
I have caught you in my trap. There is no escape.
What? What are you talking about?
I have been running from you for too long. I will not marry you.
What?
I shall become
A valiant knight in a distant land far from my father's evil throne and your hideous face. And I'll never have to see you again. Unless, of course, you get imprisoned in the tower. And then I'd have to come rescue you, hideous face, for no. And I'd have to cut your head from your disgusting body and ram it through my lance just so I can parade it through the town square.
Well, now that's what I call a great...
No, no, no. Do not try to persuade me otherwise. I shall become a knight. Neither you nor my father can prevent me. I am no longer afraid of you.
What? Are you gonna butter me to death?
Hush, you fool!
Here, I found your pen.
What feeble weapons you have. What? On guard!
What? Oh.
Defend yourself. Do not underestimate my skills as a swordsman. I have been trained by the best! Look at you, coward, running.
All I wanted was my pen back.
Finally, she was safe, free from her father and free from the man who would never be her husband. The village was just ahead. Her body ached with the thought of food. Just a little farther, she told herself, and picked up the pace. Suddenly, all the anxiety of being alone in the world flooded back. Where would she find shelter? Where would she find food? Where would she find work? And for who?
It's whom.
What?
For whom?
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 No, I think it's who.
It's whom.
Well, it sounds stupid.
In the USA, everything is real.
So, Chino, how was she when you took her home?
All right, Nardo. She was only dancing.
With an American who was really a Polak.
Says the speak.
You are not so cute.
That Tony is,
Oi.
and he works.
A delivery boy.
And what are you?
An assistant.
See, and Chino makes half what the American makes. And Tony is an American, and Chino is a Polak.
Here comes the old commercial.
The mother of Tony was born in Poland. The father still goes to night school. But Tony was born in America, so that makes him an American. But us, foreigners.
Lice, cockroaches.
Well, it's true. You remember how we were when we first came? Did we even think of going back? No. We came ready, eager.
With our hearts open.
Our arms open.
She came with her pants open.
You did, pig. You'll go back. in handcuffs.
I'm going back in a Cadillac.
Air condition,
Built-in bar.
telephone,
Television.
compatible color.
And a king-size bed. Come on.
Come on.
Well, are you or aren't you?
Well, are you or aren't you?
Well, are you?
You have your big, important war council. The council or me?
First one, then the other.
No. I am an American girl now. Don't wait.
Back home, women know their place.
Back home, little boys don't have war councils.
You want me to be an American? Vámonos, chicos. Es tarde. Buenas noches, Anita, Josefina del Carmen, etc., etc.
At home.
That's
So
very pretty.
nice. At home. Why don't we go back there?
I would like to, just for a successful visit.
Puerto Rico, you lovely island, island of tropical breezes. Always the pineapple growing, always the coffee blossom blowing.
Puerto Rico, you ugly island, island of tropic diseases.
Sí, Anita.
Always the hurricanes blowing, always the population growing.
Ay.
And the money always.
Sí, Anita.
And the babies crying. And the bullets flying. I like the island Manhattan.
Of course.
Smoke on your pipe and pour. I like to be in America. Okay, by me in America. Everything free in America. For a small fee in America.
I like the safety of San Juan.
I know a boat you can get on.
Bye-bye. Hundreds of flowers in full bloom.
Hundreds of people in each room.
Automobile
In America. Romeo still in America. Puerto Rico in America. Very big deal in America.
I'd rather be with you, San Juan.
If there's a road you can drive on.
I'll be my cousin to free
How
ride.
you get all of them inside? You need to go to America. Many have lost in America. Nobody knows in America. Puerto Rico's in America.
I'll bring a TV to San Juan.
If there's a current to turn on.
I'll give them the washing machine.
What have they got there to keep clean? Nada. I like the shores in America. Comfort the shores in America. Knock on the doors in America. Walk about doors in America.
boys and girls, attention, please. Attention. Thank you. Oh, hey, it looks like a fine turnout we have here tonight. Now, we all want you to make friends here, so we're going to have a few get-together dances. Won't that be fun? Yeah. I want you to form 2 circles.
How many?
2. 2 circles, boys on the outside and girls on the inside.
And where do you go?
Now, when the whistle blows, each boy dances with whichever girl is opposite of him. Okay, kids? 2 circles, 2 circles. Well, it won't hurt to try.
Oh, it hurts.
You're so silly. Come on, let's go. 2 circles. That's it. You can do it. That's it, boys and girls. Keep the ball rolling. Round and round she goes. Where she stops, nobody knows.
Diesel is for unbelievers. Electricity is wrong. Steam has got the power that will pull us along. There's a light at the end of the tunnel. There's a light at the end of the tunnel. Yes, there's a light. Inside light, feels like it's a night. But at the end of the tunnel, there's a light. We see the light at the end of the tunnel. We see the light at the end of the tunnel. When that angel Gabriel blows his magic too. See the light at the end of the tunnel. We see the light at the end of the tunnel. So let that water boil. Goodbye to oil. At the end of the tunnel, there's a light. We see the light. Oh, there's a light. We see the light. At the end of the tunnel. We see the light. We see the light. At the end of the tunnel. We see the light. We see the light.
I have never felt like this. For once I'm lost for words. Your smile has really thrown me. This is not like me at all. I never thought I'd know the kind of love you've shown me. Now, no matter where I am, no matter what I do, I see your face appearing like an unexpected song, that only we are hearing. Only when we've said goodbye, remember me once in a while. Please promise me you'll try. When you find that once again you long to take your heart back and be free, if you ever find a moment, spare a thought for me. Think of me waiting silent and resigned. Imagine me trying to watch the words from my mind. Changes everything, hands and faces, earth and sky. Love changes everything, how you live and how you die. Love can make the sun
voice which calls to me and speaks my name. And do I dream again? For now I find the phantom of the uprising. The phantom is there inside.
Strange
much. Before we leave the stage, I would like to acknowledge some friends of mine. Kevin Tarazuski, with whom I graduated on tenor sax, an alumnus helping us out. Also, Dave Evans and Evan Reiser in the trumpet section. They are also alums. I have some future students, Scott Eddy, Tony Cuchitrone, Mark, Mike Larson, my fault, Anthony LaMarca, and Holly Hassey will be in my band very soon. And also all the current students in the Boardman High School Band and Jazz Band.
Folks, while they're setting up for the next performance, I know that many of you weren't able to squeeze in to hear the remarks of the opening dedication. And I just want to share with you some thoughts that we shared then and a further acknowledgement to all of you. This is truly, as I'm sure all of you can see, a remarkable auditorium. Look around you. It's what I said to the orchestra, band and orchestra parents about a month or two ago when there were still catwalks and everything else in here and dust and dirt everywhere, but just look around and look what you have. 1,624 seats. Where the people are in the first 4 rows here are on top of what's an orchestra pit that we will have when we have our musicals here. When you see West Side Story, there'll be a full orchestra. They'll be in a real pit for the first time, not just in front of the stage. We have in the back a lighting booth. If you look to your right, that's where the sound comes from, where those gentlemen are up there. In the middle is the light booth, and over to the left where there's some blinds, that's the television studio. And I urge each and every one of you, before you leave here tonight, take a look up there if you can climb the many steps. It's a sight to behold. It's a digital, state-of-the-art television studio. You'll be able to see this concert, I believe, if Mr. Butcher tells me right, I think the first Wednesday in September, and then the following weekend it'll be played on Saturday and Sunday. So you'll be able to record what we've done, but you'll be able to see Boardman School Update and BCMS TV and the Boardman School Community Network. You'll be able to see it filmed right here in a state-of-the-art studio. We are very, very proud. We will have, one of the things that is not here is there will be some acoustical towers. And if you think the sound of the band and orchestra that you hear tonight is remarkable, wait till the acoustical towers go in, and that will be here probably by, I'm certain will be here by the fall concerts of them. This is Jim Gutterby, our assistant principal of the high school, remarked to me when he was coming in, when we were looking at it this afternoon. He said that he was telling someone that if there is a better facility than this, I'd like to see it. I know Mr. Schaefer told me he's worked on a lot of auditoriums and he's looked at a lot of them. And between here and Chicago, there's not much like this. And that's community theaters, high school auditoriums, anywhere. We really have an awful lot to be thankful for here. One of the things that is really exciting is that we have such great teachers in this building and then in the high school and in our performing arts, and they now finally have a wonderful place that they can express themselves, and that's all thanks to you. They have tremendous opportunities here in the Boardman schools, and those opportunities will only get grander here. By the way, since if you think that all of your contributions have gone to a worthy cause here tonight, we still have a few needs, and if any of you are out there, one of the things, you look here, we have brand new seats and brand new orchestra stands. One thing we do not have are brand new risers. And they tell me in the choral and choral department and in the orchestra, we could use 2 sets of risers. We certainly don't want to bring the lousy old risers over from Center Middle School into here. So if anybody's out there and has maybe $7,000 or $8,000 and they'd like to buy a few risers, come see me or Mr. Saxton after the show, and we'll be glad to talk to you. One other thing that our choral people are praying for is you saw we very gingerly rolled out a baby grand piano. Actually, it's not even, you can't call it very grand. It's just a piano. And Mrs. Slavens told me that they warned her, the tuner warned her, don't bump it. Because if it even bumps, you lose the tuning of it. It's very old. We need a new one. They tell me we could use a 9-foot baby grand piano. They tell me that's about $10,000 to $15,000. So if there's anyone out there, see me later. We could do that. And finally, Mrs. Hodge, who is so very versatile and in so many, has her iron in so many fires in our performing arts program, tells me that for West Side Story and for all the shows, they have a beautiful, beautiful scene shop in the back, but they have no scene shop budget. And she says for $2,000 or $3,000, they could do a wonderful job putting on our shows. So if anybody has that in mind, you'd like to see me later, we'd be glad to accommodate. And finally, I guess, we have built this auditorium. We have the challenge, as we all do in all of our activities and programs in the Boardman schools, of maintaining them. We built this auditorium remarkably, I think, with no new money from this community. We used a significant portion of our capital improvement fund that we passed 10, 15 years ago that we've renewed many times. We hope you'll continue to renew them if we're to continue the excellence of the programs that we have here. We also have 2 renewal levies on the November ballot. No new taxes, just renew. Please allow us to keep doing what we are doing so well here in this auditorium, and that our kids continue to have this remarkable venue within which to perform. Please, after the program is over this evening, join us for a reception in the cafeteria. To all of those of you in the gym, please come and see and look in here when you're all done. We'll be glad to give you the tour. We wish we could put on another performance, but I think our performers would drop. I know I might. And finally, I think I said finally already, but join us tomorrow night for the celebration concert with Boardman's very own Maureen McGovern. And now it is on with the show with our all-star concert band, to be followed by our summer community orchestra and our grand finale. Thank you very much.
While the all-star concert band is getting into place, I would like to say a few words about a selection here. Our first piece is one of my favorite compositions of modern band music. It's entitled Let the Spirit Soar, and I would like to dedicate this to my family, my wife Patty, my daughter Rachel, my son Nico. Rachel's birthday is today, and she's sitting in the second row there. She was up here on stage with the elementary vocal, and Daddy was backstage in tears. They make my spirit soar, my family, and I would also like to dedicate this to all of those who made the auditorium possible, for you have set in flight the performing spirits of our students, and I thank you for that. And while we're speaking about soaring, the next one is called Where the Black Hawk Soars. Also one of my favorites. Thank you very much. Before we conclude, I would like to acknowledge the people on stage, not individually, but as a group. You can easily recognize all of our current band students in their Spartan Marching Band uniforms, but please stand anyway. All current band students. Well, we have many alumni. Some recently graduated. Others have been out for at least a year or two. Would all the alums please stand? We have a few future students. I believe all are in 8th grade, soon to be in Boardman Band, high school band. Would you please stand? And we even threw in a few ringers. We've got Mr. Chambers on clarinet, Mr. Bonamace on percussion, and Mr. O'Connor playing the tuba. I would like to thank all of these people for their donations of time and talent, because even though it's an honor to be here, it did require extra time, and I certainly appreciate them giving of themselves for this. We conclude with something from The Wizard of Oz. This is Somewhere Over the Rainbow, and it features junior alto saxophonist Dana Frank. Ladies and gentlemen, Dana Frank and the All-Star Concert Band. Thank you. Thank you very much. I think we just need a few minutes to get the orchestra on stage, and we appreciate your patience.
The ability to get to know an awful lot of good people. In saying that, I would ask one more time, everybody who was a part of the Auditorium 2000 committee, would you please do me the honor of standing and being recognized one more time for what you have contributed? Please. Thank you. These folks attended lots and lots of meetings, and boy, did we have fun at those. And they were always short. We were always home by the 11 o'clock news. Of course, we started at the 6 o'clock news. But I really appreciate not only the effort that everybody put in, but getting to know you. Mark, I guess you and I have a little bit of the business in us, because you had talked about some of the needs that we still have. And I stopped this afternoon, I saw the students practicing. And so I stopped and sat in the back for a while and was just sitting here enjoying and taking in what was happening. And I noticed we're missing the American flag and the Ohio flag. We don't have them yet for this auditorium. So hopefully someone who is of a patriotic nature would be willing to help us out with that. Two and a half years ago, the Board of Education truly did take a leap of faith when they took on this project. And when John Darnell was chosen to be chairman of Auditorium 2000, was an excellent choice. And I had the opportunity to be called, and he shared with me that I had volunteered to be the co-chair. And John, I appreciate that. In fact, I appreciate it so much. Would you come up on stage with me for a minute, please? While John's coming up, I have one thought. When I was sitting back in the back this afternoon, truly taking in what was going on this stage, I thought, you know, what better way to show what Boardman is all about than through community pride? And when I stand here this evening and I look at this facility and I see all of you folks out here, this is community pride. And we have to take an awful lot of pleasure in what we have accomplished as a group. Thank you. John, you said earlier that many times some of the media, for whatever reason, preferred to visit with me than with you. And you were the chairman of this program. You were the heart and soul of it. You are what Boardman is all about. On behalf of Auditorium 2000 Committee and myself, I would like you to accept this gift as something that will commemorate the efforts and the times that you have put in. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
With that, I think we're about ready for our next group. Thank you.
Good evening, and welcome to the last part of our program for you tonight. Behind me sits the Boardman Summer Community Orchestra. This is something we hope will be an annual event here in Boardman. We played in Boardman Park this summer to a crowd that came out despite thunderstorms and players and had a good concert. And now this group of all Boardman students and alumni is here to perform for you tonight. Let's do a real quick check here. Can we have all of our Boardman alumni that are in the group please stand up? And could we have our current Boardman High School Orchestra students stand up? And our future Boardman High School Orchestra students, our junior high students participating. And in addition, we have Miss Berry playing viola on the staff here. Of course, Mr. Schreck, who is our concert master. Mr. Ryan, who will be playing bass back there. And we even have Mr. O'Connor on the tuba in the back. And I think Mr. Bonamace is going to hit the drums a few times, too. So we appreciate all your help. This group is about 160. As we were setting up, somebody up front here said, you think it's big enough? I think it's big enough, and it's going to sound just fine, as you'll hear in a minute. As we prepare for our last number here, the ever-popular 1812 Overture, it's my great pleasure to welcome to the stage a former colleague and still a very good friend, and one of the people who was very instrumental in the designing and building of this auditorium, Miss Carol Clark.
Thank you very much. It certainly is a privilege to be here this evening in this beautiful performing hall. The orchestra decided that the right piece to really truly test the acoustics of this hall would be the wonderful 1812 Overture, which is one of the trademarks of the Boardman Orchestra to have performed this piece many times in national competition. And so we will conclude our part of the program by performing for you the wonderful 1812 Overture by Tchaikovsky.
Got a mic? There we go. Before we end tonight, I know it's been a long night, but before we end with our alma mater, in which we'll be joined by all of the participants in our programs tonight, I want to take this opportunity to thank those most directly responsible for tonight. In truth, generating the inspiration, the energy, the dedication, and the excellence that's truly brought this Performing Arts Center about. And we have with us tonight the directors emeritus of the Boardman Performing Arts Programs, who for the past 30 or more years have established a standard of excellence in performing arts that has become legendary in our schools and in our community, against which all that follow are measured. And they deserve special recognition tonight, not just for their past work in building such great programs, but also for their central role in the fundraising campaign that made this dream a reality. From drama, my mentor and the mentor of thousands of kids who have gone on to fabulous careers, Mr. William Dykins. From the band, the founder of the Boardman Band, at least in modern times, and the inspiration to Miss Clark, Dick Bain. Dick? Also from the band, the man who took the band to Carnegie Hall and Pasadena and thousands of other venues, Mr. Tom Groth. And once again from the orchestra, the woman who put the Boardman Orchestra on the map and who brought them to national and international renown that they have so richly earned, Miss 1812 Overture herself, Carol Sue Clark. Thanks for all that you guys have done and all that you continue to do for the Boardman schools. Tonight really has been a remarkable night, the culmination of some remarkable efforts. And first and foremost, we need to recognize the present-day directors of the Boardman Performing Arts Programs who have devoted their entire summer without pay to organizing and leading these alumni and community groups and turning them into the marvelous performances you have witnessed tonight. From the chorus, our elementary and middle school chorus staff, Dean Wilson, Linda Smrek, and Martha Popio, wherever you are. There's Linda. From our high school chorus staff, Emily Slavens, Linda Taylor, and the renowned Errol Kerberg, the heart of our choral program here, Director Emeritus of our choral program. From our marvelous orchestra, our high school orchestra director, Frank Dispenza, and his assistants, Michelle Berry, Mr. Ryan, our orchestra alumni, Rick Smrek, and of course, Miss Clark. And I don't know where she's at because she's wearing so many hats, but I think I maybe see her, I'm not sure where. Our high school play director, chorus singer and dancer, cheerleader advisor, and great math teacher, Mrs. Janine Hodge. There she is. She's on stage and backstage director. From our art department. They don't perform here on the stage, but they hang their wares in the lobby. And if those of you who drive around the Glenwood Avenue entrance, you'll see the most beautiful flags that typify and express the Boardman Performing Arts Center in art and music and drama, Mrs. Edie Davidson, who designed those beautiful flags. Edie, are you here? We also truly have many unsung heroes tonight, and forgive me if I leave some of them out. But the guiding light of our television studio, he's probably up hiding there in the back, but he'll be the one responsible for you seeing these marvelous performances tonight on Channel 19. The guiding light of our television studio, BCMS TV, and Boardman School Update, Mr. Al Butcher, along with Joyce Mistovich and Bob Wright, our Director of Technology, right down front. Bob? The choreographer, house manager, light designer, overall jack of trades, Mr. Nick Opritza up there in the booth, I think. And Mr. DePritza was assisted by his son Nicholas, John Lute, Dave Reese, Matt Pajak, and Chris DiGregorio. Also, I believe, on costumes, helping with costumes, was Miss Jan Scaly, wherever she is. There is one other person that I want to recognize here tonight and give a special recognition to. I think that if we were giving naming rights to facilities in Boardman, this person would have this facility named after him. He has truly been the guiding light for Auditorium 2000. Without his vision, without his strategy, without his inclusive leadership style, we wouldn't be here tonight. And I would like to recognize and have the biggest applause of the evening for no one more deserving, the most humble man I know, and as dedicated a Boardmanite as you will ever find, Mr. Larry Saxton, our superintendent. And they also tell me that when I was listing, I said I probably would leave somebody out. They shouted to me that when I was listing the present-day band people, I didn't miss Mr. Jazz himself, Mr. Tom Ruggieri, our director of bands. And finally, if you have to give another thanks when you walk out of here tonight, and you see our custodians and our cleaning staff, you would not believe the hours that they have put in making this the spanking beautiful facility that we have here tonight. They have killed themselves, and they deserve, they are all deserving of our thanks. So please tip them a hat when you leave here tonight. And now, if you will please join Mr. Dispenza and all of our performers in closing the evening by joining with us in singing Boardman's Alma Mater. Mr. Dispenza, take it away.
you.